The Bible describes the Ark of the Covenant as the most sacred and dangerous object on the face of the earth. But why was it so lethal? Uzzah died instantly when he tried to steady it. Thousands in Beth Shemesh perished simply for looking inside it.
The Ark! It burns with light! What is happening? Back away! No!
For centuries, we have accepted this only as a theological mystery. But what if the Ark was, in fact, a highly sophisticated piece of sacred technology? Something that not only carried the tablets of the law, but also interacted directly with the hardware of the human brain through invisible frequencies. Today, on Faith Uncovered, we will cross the boundary between neuroscience and the Exodus to understand how the Ark calibrated the human mind, what happened inside the Holy of Holies, may change your perception of what we call a miracle. To understand the effect on the brain, we need to look at the environment. The Holy of Holies was not just a room. It was a perfect cube covered in pure gold, isolated by dense layers of linen and leather. In acoustic engineering, this is not just a place of prayer. It is an absolute resonance chamber. But to truly understand its impact, we need to analyze the structure itself as a complete system. The Tabernacle was not just a tent, it was a material design project, focused on isolating the outside world. Its covering was built in multiple layers. First, fine twisted linen, then goat hair, followed by ram skins, and finally dense outer coverings. In modern acoustics, this resembles a mass spring mass system. Each layer, with a different density, blocks a specific range of external frequencies, creating an environment of near-total silence. At its core, the Holy of Holies formed a perfect cube, in both geometry and physics. The cube is one of the most stable forms, FOR wave resonance. The acacia wood structure absorb unwanted vibrations, while the gold coating reflected energy back toward the center, where the Ark was placed. The veil separating the inner chamber was not only visual, it may have functioned as an acoustic barrier, filtering external sounds, allowing only the most controlled frequencies to pass through. Inside that space, there was no external light and no ambient sound, a state of sensory deprivation. In this condition, the human brain naturally begins to search for patterns, and in absolute silence, any internal frequency becomes amplified. There, silence was not the absence of sound. It was the stage for a specific vibration. The Levite priests did not enter casually. The golden bells at the hem of their garments were not ornaments. They were acoustic monitors. If the sound of the bells stopped, the rhythm had been broken. They were entering a sensory force field that required perfect tuning. But what sound was this? Modern science studies the impact of infrasound, frequencies below what the human ear can detect. but that the body can feel. Vibrations around 19 Hertz are known to cause deep fear, chills, and the perception of an invisible presence in the environment. But the Ark went beyond that. There is a phenomenon called brainwave entrainment. When exposed to a constant frequency, your brain begins to imitate that rhythm. In Eyes the Holy of Holies, the priest's mind was forced out of the beta alert state and into gamma or theta states, the deepest levels of mystical ecstasy and meditation known to science. What we call an encounter with God had a real neurological signature. Inside the Ark were the tablets of the law, made of stone, possibly quartz. Here the mystery becomes physical. Quartz, when subjected to pressure or constant sound vibrations, such as Levite chants, generates electricity through the piezoelectric effect. Inside that golden box, this energy could ionize the air, creating a luminous manifestation, the Shekinah. It was not just a symbolic cloud, but a real plasma generated by the interaction between sound, mineral, and metallic coating. The Ark was a transducer, transforming faith and sound into visible physical energy. Why was preparation so strict? Neuroscience has identified the temporal lobe as the God spot. When stimulated by electromagnetic fields or specific frequencies, it generates visions of intense light and a sense of unity with the universe. Could the Shekinah be a manifestation of this interaction between the Ark's energy and the highly stimulated brain of the priest? This explains why preparation was vital. Without holiness, or scientifically speaking, without the correct biological and mental balance, the intensity of this frequency could cause a neurological collapse. Entering unprepared was not just a sin, it was biological suicide. Understanding the mechanics behind the Ark does not diminish the miracle. On the contrary, it shows that we were physically designed to communicate with the Creator. The Ark was the bridge between sacred technology and human biology. But what about you? Do you believe ancient civilizations possess knowledge about sound and the mind, but we are only beginning to rediscover? Comment the word frequency below. If you want me to explore other technological mysteries of the Bible, don't forget to subscribe to Faith Uncovered, to keep uncovering what science and faith have not yet fully explained. Until the next mystery.